show you a YouTube analytic that I think is going to surprise you. It surprised me, and I've been doing this for almost 10 years. About 6 to 9 months ago, I noticed something in the numbers that was different than before. This is something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to or track, but it actually shows a lot about who your audience is on YouTube and how they consume your content. I personally have access to almost 50 channels at a time, and the sheer amount of analytics I can look at allows me to spot patterns before pretty much anyone else does. And I have this real-time data across channels of all different sizes and different niches. And what I found is something that every single person on YouTube needs to know about right now. Today, I'm going to share what that analytic is, what the CEO of YouTube said, and most importantly, what this shift means for you, your content, and how you're making money on this platform. Plus, there is one thing that you're going to want to do right after watching this video, because if you're not doing it right now, you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. Hi, my name is Erika Vieira. I've been producing YouTube channels for almost 10 years. I've worked with over 2,000 women creators across dozens of niches. And what I'm about to share with you is not a theory. It's not something I read in an article and I decided to spew out to you right now. It is something that I've seen happening in real time right now across real channels with real data. Class is in session. So let's start with what I found. Every single YouTube channel has something called device type in their analytics. This tells you exactly what your viewers are using to watch your videos. It could be the phone, the computer, the tablet, or television. A lot of people skip over this analytic, and it's not surprising because they're focused on views, watch time, subscribers, the really big, obvious stuff, which to be honest, really is the most important thing that you should be focusing on. But this one metric, which is a device type, it is interesting to take a look at every now and then because it tells you how your audience is consuming your content. And if you never ever look at it, you might be missing a really big opportunity. And this is what I've been seeing. A shopping and lifestyle channel, 48.6% of reviews are coming from television screens. A how to help niche channel, 48.5% from television. Another product review and shopping channel, 36.7% from TV. Another review, healthy lifestyle and beauty channel, 43% from TV. A beauty channel, 30.5% from TV. A commentary channel, 29%. And my own channel, 19.4%. And this is the most important part. Across every single one of these channels, that number is growing. 6 months ago, those percentages were lower. A year ago, a lot lower. Today, they are very high. And the interesting part of this is that for many channels, regardless of niche, this number is trending up. Some, as you can see, are significantly higher than others, but all are trending upwards. So what does that mean? More and more people are watching YouTube on their TV. How amazing is that? There's a reason why YouTube is bigger than Netflix. YouTube is the #1 streaming platform. It consumes 11% of all streaming activity online. And so the viewer behavior right now is treating YouTube as a television platform. So what does this all mean for somebody who is actually creating content on YouTube? So I want to give you some practical stuff that you can take away with, because this is where you can get strategic. First things first, before you do anything else, I want you to go check your own analytics right now. Open up your YouTube studio and you're going to go here and you're going to take a look at what this number tells you. Okay, this number is going to tell you exactly how urgently you need to act on what I'm about to share with you. Because here's the thing, this shift is not going to impact every single channel. But like I said, the direction it is moving, it does seem to be moving up for everybody. So here are some things that you want to think about. Now that you have your number, I want you to put it in the chat. Let me know what you see on your end of what percentage of your viewers are consuming your content through the television. And is that more than before? Are you surprised by that number? Have you never even really paid attention to it, so you don't even know what it was before? Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, share your channel niche and then also the size of your channel, just so we can get a lot of information, because the more data that's shared, the more knowledge that we all have. So this one is probably the most urgent to do, especially when it comes to making money with your YouTube channel. I want you to think about how you currently direct viewers to take action throughout your videos. You probably say something like, click the link in the description below. This works fine when people are watching it on their phone or on their laptop or their tablet, right? They tap the screen, they go to the link, and then they're there. But what happens when somebody is watching you on a 65, 70-inch television across from them on the couch? They can't really click the link right there. I mean, I think there's like keyboards and stuff like that, but most people aren't doing that. And if you're selling something, a product, a service, an affiliate link, a low ticket product or course, that viewer just hit a wall, right? They might actually still be looking on their phone, but they're not using your link. And we don't want that. We want them to use your links because that's how you make money. Maybe they wanted to take action. Maybe they wanted to look it up, but they don't have that link readily available, so they just might look it up themselves or do it later on. So what do you do here? Over the last several months, I have been telling my clients and bootcamp students that you need to have a QR code on your screen, a QR code that your TV viewer can point their phones at from across the room and go directly to whatever you want them to go to, whether it's a product page, an affiliate link, your website, whatever it is. So think about what this situation means for your bottom line. If 40% of your viewers, as some of them are, as you saw, are watching on TV and you're not giving them a way to take action and use your links, you're potentially leaving 40% of your conversions on the table every single month. That is not a small number. So how do you create those QR codes? You can create it for free on Canva. You can use Bitly. There's a lot of affiliate companies out there that you can create the QR codes for as well. And if you want a dynamic QR code, one that you can update and change without having to obviously change it in your video, there are other third-party tools that offer that. You're just gonna have to look it up because they're always changing and all that. Another option for those of you that maybe have a product or course or service is to use an easy to remember URL. In my videos here on this channel, whenever I talk about my free live class, I'll say check out my free upcoming live class and register at erikavieira.net/masterclass. My editor will also put the URL on screen, and then we can also do a QR code just to ensure that if the viewer does want to take action, there's multiple ways for them to do that. That's not always the case for those of you that have shopping channels where you're talking about 20, 30, 40, 50 products of video. In that case, the QR code is the best way to go. But at a minimum, get a QR code on your screen, start with the next video. This is probably the single most important practical change that you can make given that shift. And that's the one that I'm telling all my clients and students to do. Your thumbnails matter, but in this case, they matter more than ever, but not in the way that you might think. When someone is browsing YouTube on the TV, your thumbnail is not like a little square anymore on a phone screen. It's huge, front and center on a big screen. So YouTube themselves have discussed the best practices for this growing viewership. They said, think of your thumbnail like a movie poster. On a TV screen, that's exactly what it looks like. So you want to really make sure that with your thumbnails, you're using the high resolution images, 1280 by 720 pixels or higher. Keep the designs very clean, balanced, and easy to read. So a lot of the same stuff that applies as before. Like always, if your thumbnail has a lot of tiny text, it should be bigger. If it's cluttered and busy, it probably should be cleaner. If the image quality itself is low, you need to make sure you have a higher resolution. The good news is that a cleaner, bolder, higher resolution thumbnail doesn't just perform better on TV, it performs better everywhere. So a lot of these things you should have been doing all along, but maybe this will give you even more motivation to do it if you haven't been doing it already. Now, video quality does matter more on a big screen, and this one is worth thinking about for your channel moving forward. When somebody's watching you on a 75-inch television, every single detail is amplified. Your lighting, your background, the sharpness of the image. YouTube themselves talked about this on a recent blog. They said that viewers are choosing to watch YouTube on their TV for the picture quality. And with more 4K TVs in your home, uploading in 4K ensures that your content does look its best. I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy a brand new camera tomorrow, but if you haven't been putting off improving your lighting or upgrading your setup, knowing that a significant and growing percentage of your viewers are watching on a big screen is usually a good reason to move that up on your priority list. That's why I started this conversation with directing you to check out what your own percentage is, because if it's really, really high, you do want to take everything that I'm sharing in this video pretty seriously because it is directly impacting you. Good lighting always makes the biggest difference. More than your camera, more than your background, more than anything else. Usually when I'm working with a client and I find that the quality isn't great, we always start with the lighting because that's one of the easiest things to fix versus having to get a whole nother camera. Even though I recently just had a client and she had to paint her walls because everything looked yellow, and when she painted her walls, it did make a big difference. That's not the first client that ended up having to paint her walls. It actually happens quite often. When in doubt, go with white, okay? These light pink, mauve, yellow, blue walls, they just look bad on camera. Just a side note. Lighting will make an immediate noticeable difference in how professional your content looks on the screen, but especially on the big screen. TV viewers are consuming and watching the content differently than mobile viewers. And understanding this can change how you structure your content. This is what YouTube's own data shows, that TV viewers watch for longer sessions than any other device. I see it myself in the numbers as well with my clients. It does make sense that if they're sitting down, they're watching, they have a cup of coffee. They're more in like that viewer consuming mode than quick, fast mode that they might be on their mobile. They're more likely to finish a video and immediately watch another one. So it's a really good thing. I think that if you see a high TV percentage, I think that's a good sign. This is kind of lean back viewing. They're on their couch, they're relaxed, they're not distracted by notifications or text messages. I mean, unless they have their phone right there with them, which they probably do. They chose to sit down and watch new YouTube like they would Netflix. What does that mean for your content? It means that longer videos are preferred by people that consume content on the television. It also means like episodic content, series, recurring formats, familiar characters performs really well on TV because viewers can just binge watch your channel like they do Netflix. YouTube specifically called this out in a blog post about this whole new TV phenomenon. If you really want to hook your TV audience, try building your channel around familiar frameworks, themes. I call it hub content. This is a type of content that really is made for your existing subscriber base that they like to come back again and again. If you've been thinking about doing this, I always recommend having several videos every month that is that hub content, and because that works really well in this case. And also pay attention to your playlists. Give your playlists a clear title, really organize them cleanly so that if someone is want to sit down and just binge, they can binge some of your playlists. So basically make it easy for TV viewers to find the next video and keep binging and keep watching, because that's always a good idea. The more that people watch you, the more that they watch one video, go to another video and another video of yours, they're building more trust. They're building more of a connection with you. And the more that it helps the algorithm, because the more that YouTube sees people watching for these longer watch sessions, the more likely it is going to push it out. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. YouTube is not a mobile platform anymore. The data confirms it. The CEO of YouTube came out and just confirmed it.
We really do give this very broad canvas to our creators to be able to express themselves, share what they want with their audiences. The living room continues to be an area of strength and investment for us. We're coming up on 3 years where we're the #1 streamer here in the US.
1 billion hours of YouTube content is watched on television screens every single day. I'm curious, do you ever watch YouTube on television? I know for me, I personally don't, but my kids do. My kids don't watch a lot of TV at all, but what we do let them watch is we let them watch a couple things on YouTube, which is college gymnastics. So they watch it on TV. But I'm curious for you, what is your behavior? Where do you usually watch YouTube? For me, it's on my desktop and on my phone. I personally was really surprised to start seeing this about a year ago. I was like, wow, more and more people are watching it on their televisions. And that's crazy to me. 1 billion hours of YouTube content is watched every single day on the television. But this isn't that same distracted phone scroll that people are doing. This is very intentional viewing. This is a kind of viewing that builds real trust, real connection, and real loyalty. And the creators that know this right now, who start optimizing their channel for that viewer experience, they're just gonna benefit from it. These things that I'm telling you to do, your action items, are not anything super radical or different. They're just tiny, small tweaks that can make a big difference in your bottom line. As a recap, here is your action plan starting today. 1, go check your device type analytics right now. Find out what percentage of your viewers are watching on TV, and remember what it is. Check it again in 30 days and another 30 days. And make sure that you come and hear what your percentage is so that we can all compare the numbers. So the more, the better. If you're selling something, which if you've been on YouTube for a while, you should be, add a QR code to your next video. Make it easy for your TV viewers to take action. Don't let them hit a wall when they want to buy from you, and or create a really easy URL using something like bit.ly to make it easy to shout out in the middle of your video, like joining my free class at erikavieira.net/masterclass. Or if you're interested in working with me personally in my YouTube bootcamp, you can join the waitlist at erikavieira.net/bootcamp. See how I did it? Makes it super easy that if you're on the phone, you can write it out on your phone, right? And 3, think about your video quality. If a significant percentage of your viewers are watching on a big screen, good lighting and 4K if possible does make a big difference in how professional you look on that screen. 4, look at your thumbnails. Are they clean enough to read on a big screen? Are they bold enough? Are they high resolution enough? And 5, think about your content format. Are you creating the kind of episodic, bingeable content that TV viewers love? Could you organize your existing videos into playlists that can make it easy for people to binge? This, I think, is something to consider, but I don't think it's the most important. For the most part, if you're creating really good content and people resonate with you, they're going to want to binge your content regardless if it's episodic or if it's a specific series. But it doesn't help to have those type of hub content series on your channel, because it actually makes it easier for you as a creator to have consistent videos that you know that you're going to create every single month, and it gets your viewers excited for a certain type of video that they know that they're going to expect every single month. These aren't massive changes. They're little shifts that can make a big difference. I hope that was helpful for you. Up next, make sure you watch this video on one of the big changes on how you can make money on YouTube. And until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being you. Mwah.